All right, today we're jumping into a project that's seriously shaking things up in the AI world. We're talking about the Hermes Agent from Nous Research. And this thing isn't just built to follow orders, it's designed to actually learn from them.
I mean, let's be real. This is the biggest headache with most AI agents out there, right? You spend all this time teaching it a workflow, you get an amazing result, and then the next day, poof, it's forgotten everything. It's like having a genius assistant with the worst short-term memory ever. Well, Hermes is built to fix exactly that.
So here's what we've got lined up. We'll look at why AI memory is so broken, then see how Hermes' unique design fixes it. I'll walk you through an install that's so fast it's crazy, connect it to, well, basically anything, and then we'll see it tackle a real-world job. And finally, we'll talk about what you can build with it. Okay, let's get into it. So the key thing to get is this. Most agents are just executors. They aren't learners. Sure, they can do a task, maybe even a really complicated one, but all the experience from that task, it just disappears into thin air. They don't have a way to automatically turn a successful job into a skill they can use again. And that means you're stuck explaining the same stuff over and over, which is, the total opposite of what you want from a smart assistant. And this slide just nails the difference in philosophy. Over on one side, you've got your static agents. They depend on skills that a human, a person, has to sit down and write. They can be powerful for sure, but they don't grow by themselves. And then you have Hermes. Its entire design is built around this loop of self-improvement. Everything about it is geared towards learning and getting better on its own.
Exactly. So how does Hermes actually pull this off? This isn't just some feature they bolted on at the end. No, this learning ability is baked right into its DNA. The whole point is to have an agent that gets more valuable the more you use it. It literally gets smarter with every single interaction. So yeah, let's dig into how it builds up that brain.
The secret sauce here is something called procedural memory. And no, this isn't just remembering old chats. It's about remembering the how. Hermes doesn't just recall that you asked for a news summary once. It remembers the exact step-by-step process it used to get it right. And it packages that whole process up as a skill it can use again and even make better later. And this shows that do, learn, improve cycle perfectly. You give it a task, it goes and does its thing. But then, and this is the important part, it looks at the result. Did it work? Were there any hiccups? And based on that, it either makes a brand new skill from scratch or tweaks one it already has. Every single task is a chance for it to level up. And this is all powered by a really clever multi-layered memory system. You've got persistent notes for stuff you need it to remember forever. Its entire history is saved in a database you can actually search. Then you've got that library of skills that's always growing. And on top of all that, it actually starts to build a model of you, your habits, your preferences. It learns you. All right, so theory is great, but how much of a pain is this thing to get up and running? Because that's usually where these cool open source projects stumble. Well, with Hermes, the team at Nous Research made the setup ridiculously easy. I'm not kidding. You can go from nothing to having your own personal AI running in about 2 minutes. And that's it. Seriously, that one line of code you see right there, you paste that into your terminal and it does all the heavy lifting. It checks for stuff like Git, gets the environment ready, installs what it needs, and then launches the setup wizard for you. It's just so clean, powerful, and incredibly fast. And just look at these requirements. You don't need some beast of a machine with a monster GPU. It's made to be super lightweight. It'll run on Linux, Mac OS, and even on Windows if you're using WSL2. And like the slide says, you can run this whole thing on a little virtual server that costs you like $5 a month. That makes it accessible to pretty much everyone. As soon as that installer finishes, it pops up this interactive setup wizard. This is where you really bring it to life. You get to pick your LLM provider, and the cool thing is you can use something like OpenRouter and get access to over 200 different models with just one API key. You just paste in your key, pick a model you like, turn on the tools you want, and you're pretty much good to go. You can even run models right on your own machine with Ollama if you want total privacy. Okay, so you got this super smart learning AI running. That's awesome. But you're not going to be glued to a terminal window all day, right? That's where the messaging gateway comes in, and it is a brilliant move. It basically separates the agent's brain from its mouth, so you can talk to it from, well, just about anywhere. And when I say anywhere, I really mean it. We're talking more than 14 different platforms. You can text it on Telegram or WhatsApp. You can pull it into your team's Discord or Slack. You can have it handle your emails for you. It can even hook into Home Assistant and control your lights.
It becomes this universal assistant that's just there, wherever you are.
And that is the killer value proposition right there. Just stop and think about that for a second. You get your own super smart employee, one that's always learning your exact needs, available 24/7 on any device you own, all running on a tiny server that costs less than a fancy coffee. I mean, that's not just an upgrade, that's a complete game changer.
And hooking it up is just as easy as the first install. So for Telegram, for instance, you literally just send a message to this bot called BotFather, tell him you want a new bot, and he hands you a unique code. You run the gateway setup, paste that code in, and start the service. That is it. Your agent is now live and waiting for you on Telegram.
So, we've got it installed, we've got it connected. Now comes the really fun part, actually putting it to work. An agent is only as good as the tools it has and the skills it can develop. So let's see what Hermes can do straight out of the box. Right away, it comes with over 40 built-in tools. We're talking about everything from searching the web and running code to looking at images and managing your files. But the most important part here is that it supports something called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. Just think of it like a universal adapter for AI tools. It's a standard that lets anyone in the community build and share new tools, which means Hermes' skill set can grow, well, forever. Yeah, but that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's one thing to have a bunch of tools. It's a whole other thing to take a really complicated request, figure out all the steps, do them in the right order, and then actually learn from it. So let's put it to the test. Okay, just look at this prompt. This is not a simple, hey, do this command. We're telling it where to look, the order to look in, and then what to search for after that. We're giving it tight constraints on time and content, no fluff, just the good stuff. And on top of it all, we're demanding a very specific format for the output. This is a real task a human analyst would do.
And bam, there it is. A perfectly formatted briefing, exactly like we asked for. It followed every single instruction, filtered the content correctly, and delivered the goods. But here's the magic trick. After it's done, Hermes just casually says, Skill AI News Briefing created. It figured out, on its own, that this was a useful, repeatable task and turned the whole thing into a new skill. So next time, you just say, run the AI news briefing, and it does all of that instantly. That's incredible.
And this right here is what makes Hermes so exciting. It's not just about using AI anymore, it's about creating with it. It shifts the dynamic. The technology is no longer some mysterious black box. It's a system you can actually teach and shape and grow right alongside you. And that's really the big idea here. Tools like the Hermes Agent are making it possible for anyone to build incredibly powerful personalized AI. You don't have to be some giant tech company. All it takes is a $5 server and a little bit of curiosity to start building the future yourself. So really, the final question isn't about what Hermes can do. It's about what you are going to do with it. Are you going to build an agent to automate all your boring research? One that runs your entire smart home? Maybe a coding sidekick that knows your code base better than you do? The possibilities are, well, they're wide open. And for the first time, this kind of power is actually in your hands.